Don't say anything because that's trash. That's a trash take. Get out.
Yeah, it sucked because honestly, obviously, I'm just fucking with
It's what's his third year, fourth year in this fucking league. He's never gone probably 400, 350 yards. He looked like a fucking fourth grader out there.
Welcome back to the Feed the Need podcast, the number one 16-team fantasy football league in the world. I am your host, Derek Moody. As always, my co-host, the Season 2 Feed the Need champion, Trevor Brown. How's it going?
As always, thanks for the great introduction, Moody. First week could have went a little bit better, but my team put up a lot of points. Sorry, I guess an average amount of points, and I'm happy with it because the first week of the NFL was the absolute worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It was a shitberg. I don't. There's so many adjectives that come to mind. I can't even talk. It was that bad.
Yeah, it was a rough week. A lot. It's like a historic week for Feed the Need. All the scoring this week was the lowest, well-rounded of the whole league. It was god awful. I literally got off work at 11. We had the leak to fix by Walmart. Came home and I'm like, wow. I had a guy on Thursday. I only have two guys going right now. Like, this is a tough week. I wish I would have just stopped watching right then and there. It was an awful week, but you know what? I'm 1-0, so that's all that matters. You know, it's great coming into week 2 with the win.
0-1, highest points scored with a loss. I'll take it. That's playoffs.
Yeah, if it matters, I had the lowest scoring points in a win because I got gifted a win at 12:30 on Sunday by Blackburn. Now, he's a great guy. You know, he ended up outscoring me, but thank goodness at 12:30 he had to say, "Hey, Joe Burrow," insert his little message. I complaining at 12:30 that Joe Burrow lost him the week. You jinxed him, so he gave me the win. It's great. It's not the way I wanted to win. I obviously wanted to win by my guys outscoring him, but hey, if I can't outscore him, I'll take the charity win. A win's a win. Just say thanks, Trevor. Great guy. Thank you for the win. Sorry you're on 1 now, but hey, I'll take the win.
Also, before we get into the next matchup, guys, I just wanted to say congrats to Merle for high point this week. He scored 135.32, won the $150. That's up against essentially the league average this week, which me and Moody just did, like using math. 87.2 was the league average this week. So he ended up scoring almost 49, almost 50 points above the league average. So great week, Merle. And I just wanted to throw that tidbit in there.
So that's it. We could go jump in. We're going to do the reviews of the matchups this week. We could jump right into mine and Blackburn's, get it over with. Because it's pretty quick and easy. We were over by 12:30. So, you know, started off. The final score was 93.38 to 50.84. But, you know, he outscored me by almost double. But like I said, thank you. Yeah, dude, it was a shit show the whole entire day by both teams. So it wasn't just my team. And then his defense did a pad act and put up 36 points by themselves on Sunday night with the Giants.
I was looking at that, and I was the first one with the defense off the board, and Trev was second, and I picked Philly, and he picked Dallas 3 picks later. Oh, I could have used those 36 points.
Yeah,
could have won me the week.
Yeah, it sucked because honestly, obviously, I'm just fucking with Blackburn talking. All right, there goes my shit talk board, but whatever. Obviously, I'm just talking shit to Blackburn, but like, dude, it came down. I was going into Monday or the Sunday night down like 14. Barkley versus the Cowboys defense. I'm like, you know what? Like, Barkley has a good game here. We were off to something. First drive, he has 4 points. I'm like, if he gets in the end zone here, we're talking. And literally, I put on the message board, I was like, get Barkley's ass in the end zone. Seconds later, the fucking first turnover takes it to the house and
Derek,
instantly.
I was bowling on Sunday night, and every single time, I swear to God, it's not long between turns, okay? I swear every other turn I was going up there, Giants had the ball. One turn later, Cowboys had the ball somehow and they were almost scoring. It was that that game sucked.
It did. I literally watched the first turnover. I was out at the in-laws and I was like, "We're going home. See ya. I'm done. Done. I can't watch this shit no more." So, it's a good win by Blackburn. Fuck you, Blackburn. You shut up. But yeah, we're cool. I started the season off 0-1, least amount of points scored. I don't even know about you, but that was a preseason week. Doesn't even happen. Doesn't it
Yeah,
didn't happen.
yeah, and the fact that you were, the bottom two of the initial worst draft grade, ranking type stuff. So it was going to be a tough week regardless for you.
Yeah, definitely. It was, dude. It was like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I get a notification that Rashad Penny is going to be a healthy scratch, and man, I was so hyped for fucking DeAndre Swift. I was just licking my chops. I was like, man, this 150 high point is in the bag. Easy money. Dude, I know. Swift didn't even. I'm done talking about my shit team. I can't. I need this to be an upbeat pod. Week one, football's here. We can't talk about my team anymore. All right, now we're going to go with Trevor Brown. Your matchup here, you got a little unlucky this week. You put up 94.22 points against Garrett Driver to put up the second most points this week. He had 116.74. So you took the loss by 22. Tough week. There's nothing worse when you have the most points in the loss this week. It is not fun when you put up a lot of points and lose. I'd rather do what I did and just shit the bed and lose. Take your loss. In your matchup, though, you might have got some shit for your AR5 Anthony Richardson, but you know what? He looked good. He had 21 points pretty much. Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry. He got his low games are 13-9, and that's what he got you. Joe Mixon did okay for you. Hopkins got you the double digits of 10. Marquise Brown did okay. Your team did just fine. You just didn't have the extra couple guys to give you the loft like Garrett had. Garrett had three guys, and Nick Chubb, Aaron Jones, and Brandon Ayuk combined for 74 points. Quick math, or the quick just little nugget for a lot of people in here. Those 74 points would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams would be the need just with those three guys. 5 teams, which is just insane. So good win on Garrett. When you just got outscored when the league you were 7 points above the league average and you lost, which is tough, but 116 is going to get you a win and feed the need, and Garrett got to that. So good win on Garrett's part.
No, great win on Garrett's part. I was super excited with the play of Anthony Richardson. I was super pumped to see them actually pull him out of the game for those last like 3 or 4 plays, just because they know they actually have a stud in him. You don't see teams do that. So that was actually really cool to see. Let's see here. Garrett had great performance. Aaron Jones popped off. Brandon Ayuk popped off. 30 plus points, like hard to beat, especially in a 16-man league. And my team did exactly what I needed it to do and what I needed it to do all season. And I drafted a team to be consistent like this all year. So I'm really hoping that I can be in the 90s every single week, just like I was with, like you were saying, that one big guy on my team, with the Derrick Henry into the 25s, with the Anthony Richardson maybe popping off for a 35, and then getting into those 115, 125 weeks where you're going to be winning 90% of the time. So that's kind of where my team is. I'm not panicking at all. I'm actually still really love my team. I avoided the injury bug. No one got hurt, and we're on to the next week, 0-1, but feeling really good.
Yeah, agreed. It's always nice when you get out injury free.
And props to Garrett because he had a hell of a week.
Yeah. Sometimes you just get beat, man. I mean, your team could do just fine, and you just get beat some weeks. It's fantasy football, man. All right, going to the third matchup here, we got Merle, high point, like you announced earlier. He had 135 to Daly. He's put up 86. He's right at the league average. You put the league average up and feed the need, you're going to win most of the time. Daly, though, his team, he had his tight end position go for 0.9. He didn't really have any other stinkers. JSN had 2.8. Jalen Hurts, one of his early, he was the second quarterback off the list, or off the board, I think. He had
Yeah.
12.5 points. So, when your main guys don't produce, Bijan looked great, but Merle, go against High Point. Herbert with
Hey,
21.
not to interrupt you, just something that went through my head real quick. Name like the top 3 guys that came off the board. I mean, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes. And
Joe
Joe
Burrow.
Burrow.
They
Essentially,
all sucked.
look,
The only one that did
yeah,
anything
and
was
look at all
Justin
those,
Herbert.
and look how successful all those teams were this week. Not
Mhm.
good. And so, like, hopefully, people learn that maybe don't take a quarterback in the 3rd or 4th round, because if they do have a bad game, you have no position players to really fall back on.
Yeah.
That's
Over
fine.
that, Myrtle had 13.5 from David Montgomery, which looked good. I do think that it might not be sustainable because Jahmyr Gibbs will take a lot more work as the season goes on. Tyreek Hill, man, 41 points. The dude had 15 targets, caught 11 of them for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like when you
Yeah,
play against a guy that puts up 41 points as a receiver, even if you don't play the high point, it's a tough ask, man. Olave things of 18. The alligator man, dude, he got 2 tugs. He looks very serviceable. Bijan, I do think he's going to kind of have that Jameer role to where he will start eating into the Algiers like workload. But week 1, Merle's team jumped off to the hot start. He has Jordan Love on his bench. Some of these guys that kind of have those tweener quarterbacks, they dropped them maybe a couple rounds where you say they shouldn't go, but maybe Jordan Love does get moved into somebody,
hey,
or
so if there's QBs that keep having performances like week 1, there's going to be the trade market, and feed the need for QBs is going to be on fire compared to other feed the need seasons.
yeah.
So just putting that out there. So Merle holding on to Jordan Love, QB1 this week, right? QB1.
I believe so. If not, he was top 2 or 3.
He was QB1. I'm almost positive he was, and Anthony Richardson was
No,
QB4.
Tua was number 1. Tua
Oh
had a
God,
hell.
Tua Love. Got it.
Yeah.
Again, and Tua, not to like get the conversation off topic or anything like that, but Tua picked in the 6th round, unreal, because he's the only QB that had 2 receivers go in the first 2 rounds, average in the fantasy football draft. So why is Tua getting passed up and is the 9th QB off the board when he has the top 2 receiving options going on 1 and 2? So it just thinking about that, like how does that happen? Like just crazy.
Okay, you were right. Anthony Richardson was QB4 for the week.
Yeah, number 12 fantasy player overall.
Jordan Love was number 3.
Oh,
Who
3.
was number 2? You will never fucking guess.
I probably wouldn't.
Mac Jones.
Who did you just say?
Mac Jones, Patriots.
Was QB1?
2.
Oh.
2 was 1.
Okay.
All right, we'll continue on our way here. Got a little sidetracked with QB talks.
Sorry.
All right, who's next here? We'll go to the Mish versus Mike. Dude, this is where we talked about how there's just some shit teams, or not shit teams, but a lot of low scoring. Jib pulled it out with 70.08 to 54.72. Dude, in Feed the Need, you put up 70 points, it's an automatic loss 99% of the time. You don't get up to the 85s in normal Feed the Need. You don't get up to 85, it's a loss every time. Jib pulls out a win with 70 points. Happy for him. And the crazier thing is he had obviously we know he took Chris McCaffrey, picked number 1 overall. McCaffrey had a 65-yard touchdown.
Needed
Needed
every point of it.
Agreed. Do some math. 65, that's 6.5. Touchdown, that's another 6, so 12.5. You get the 1 point bonus for the 40-yard play. That's 13.5. Then you get the 2 point play for the. So we're up to 15
14.
points.
Yeah, 15.
14, whatever. I mean, dude, that one carry pretty much won him the week. And you know what?
Yeah,
That's the thing is when
25%
you
of the
have
league.
yep, and that is why when you number one overall pick, yes, Justin Jefferson had a good game, blah blah blah. But Christian McCaffrey, man, when you can do that at any time you touch the ball, obviously so can Jettas. But like McCaffrey, dude, he's been the number one consensus guy for years, years. And Jib went against the grain because the grain said Jettas, and Jib's like, nah, give me that Christian McCaffrey, and it worked out
Oh
perfectly
yeah.
for him. So
Yeah.
other than that, man, there's nothing really to talk about because it was number one versus number two in the picks. Justin Jefferson was on Mike's team, only got 22.5. McCaffrey got 28. So yeah, Mike's team just had some Antonio Gibson with 0.4, Dak Prescott versus
Dumb.
Gino. It doesn't matter, the 2 point game. Nothing really else happened in the matchup, man. Like the
That was a
teams
dumb
just
pick by Mike. God, some some of these picks, I don't know.
dude. That's why like people, obviously we talked about my team. I didn't. My team sucked.
And
We didn't put
well,
up any. But like you
Antonio
look at
Gibson
this,
was like at the end of last year, he was only getting 5 touches a game. Like Brian Robinson was the guy. So I don't understand RB2 anyway. Like I think Mike made some really bad draft decisions. He was lucky he wasn't in the bottom two as well. And so
I mean, yes,
we'll see.
maybe, but the two that you put in the bottom two, we deserve it. Anyways, continuing on
Spoiler
our
for
way
the
here.
power rankings.
Good win for the Mish. Going down to Jimmy versus Dilla. This one, uh, you put Jimmy in the bottom two is the very last draft, worst draft. Dude, he had 7 guys on the injured list, or he couldn't play. So I mean, by the time that the game started, dude, Evan Hull's on the IR. He's done for a couple of weeks. Deontay Johnson's hamstring looked like it was Aaron Rodgers' Achilles. It
Yeah.
looked awful, man. He picked up Darius Slayton for the game just in case. I like the move. He was kind of right there in it. Slayton got him 3 points. So
He
we
was
had the
right there.
Kene out. Kendry Miller, he was out. Jerry Judy out. Christian Watson out. Travis Kelce out. So like I said about my matchup, Jimmy probably feels the same way. Take this week.
What do you mean out?
They
All of
didn't
those
play.
players,
They didn't
Christian,
play.
what
So
were you?
Kelsey didn't play one snap. Watson was out. Jerry Judy out. Kendry Miller, he dropped him, had to pick up Swift or Slayton. So he was out. Akene was out. Deontay Johnson, you obviously saw that injury. He only played like a half.
Yeah.
The Evan Hull was the crapshoot long guy. Dude, he had 1 carry, 1 yard, 1 catch for 6 yards, and didn't come back in the game. He's out multiple weeks now. He's on the IR, so he's out at least 4. So now Jimmy's team, like, dude, and that's it. We talked about with your matchup of you got out injury free. Sometimes in a loss, I'll take the loss as long as everybody's healthy. Yes,
I
I
didn't
took the
realize
loss.
Jimmy's team was so
Dude, they're all
destroyed.
hurt. Every single one
Holy
of them.
cow. Wow, Jimmy. Do some
Yeah.
let's see you work yourself out of this one, huh?
Yeah. But then also, like we said about getting to 85 and feed the needs, kind of like that got a chance number. Dilla put up 84.66. So he's right there. He played against a team that put up 64. Hats off to Dilla. He wins. My Raheem Mostert, I don't know if you followed along your takes from last week, but dude, all I'm saying is Mostert the first quarter, I want to say he had like 6 carries for it. All I know is he had a touchdown and like 30 yards and a couple catches for like he had like 1 catch for like 6 yards. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, he got touched by 2 other times the rest of the game. Tua
Right.
just said, hold my dick.
Yeah,
And
they
just
started
kept
throwing the
throwing.
ball. Yeah, they
But
started
I
throwing the
do.
ball. What can you
He
do?
ended with 12. He ended with 12, so I can't complain. But yeah, Dilla's team had Lamar would go for 5.5, Diggs for 23, which is huge for him. And Michael Pittman took that screen for I don't even know how long, but took the screen. He had
Like
Pittman, man.
65
People talk
yards.
shit about Anthony Richardson can't pass. Pittman's fucked. Pittman still had 8 catches for 97 yards and a touchdown. That is great for 19 points, and that is literally what won Dilla the matchup is Diggs and Pittman.
Yep.
Although one shiny note for Jimmy, we give him shit about his running backs in Brees Hall, bro. I don't know if you watched Monday night, but he looked good. He looked just fast. He looked good. Really, really good.
You want me to be excited about a running back on a Zach Wilson led team that got maybe 100 yards in the second half? Yeah, awesome. I'm going to be super excited for that running back. I don't want anything. And don't send me a trade for Brees. Don't send me a trade for Dalvin. I don't want any of that. I don't want any Jets. If I was Black or whoever the fuck has Garrett Wilson, I'd be getting out of him as fast as humanly possible. If I had Brees Hall, I'd be getting out of him as fast as humanly possible. If I had Dalvin Cook, dude, did you see the Saleh when Aaron Rodgers got his season's over? Even when they won, like, you're just like, fuck, that might be his only win all year. This team's god awful. And it took 4 turnovers from Josh Allen for him to get there, to even get to, dude. Nope. Don't say anything positive about Brees Hall. Don't say anything positive about anything Jets related. Don't say anything, because that's trash. That's a trash take. Get out. Jimmy, get out. Go ahead.
Tell me how you really feel. I'm trying to be upbeat, positive. It's week 1, but hey, you do you. You do
Get
you.
Out.
That being said, Jimmy, you can give me Brees Hall. Anyways, next matchup, we have 3 to go, is the number 4 in the power rankings last week, Dallas against Spank Bank. It was 100.66 to 81.44. Dallas pulled off the win. When I was doing
great week by Dallas, dude. Great week by Dallas.
I told you this, but as I was going through all these matchups, just giving myself little like notes for the pod and everything, I would write like, oh, Tyreek Hill had 41 points. Oh, Christian McCaffrey had this huge run, ended with 28. Diggs Hill had 22. Oh, Blackburn, he beat me, but his defense put up 36. It was all just like one guy. And Garrett, Garrett was next closest. He had 3 guys for 75.
Yeah.
But Dallas's team, we talk about it for years now. This pod's been going on and on and on. We talk about consistency. We talk about multiple guys in multiple positions being able to beat somebody. Dallas had 6 of his 9 guys in double digits, and a 7th with 9.7 or 9.6. And that guy's Devontae Adams with 9.6. I would bet money on it that 90% of the time he's going to finish double digits. You look at Dallas's team and Kirk Cousins. Dude, the Kirk Cousins threw for 344 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had 2 fumbles lost and a pick. Like,
yeah.
I don't know about
it's always going to be with Kirk Cousins. That'll always be him.
Agreed. But I mean, that week he's not going to have 2 fumbles every week. He might have two picks, but the 2 fumbles is 4 points each. Or is I
know. I'd have to disagree with you on the Kirk Cousins take. I think he's more of a 300 2 touchdown guy with a pick or 2, maybe a fumble every goddamn week. He's a 20-point perennial QB, which is not a bad QB to have.
So no, I 100% agree with you. But going back to what you said earlier about not drafting quarterback early, Dallas got Kirk Cousins in what round? The 9th? 8th?
Dallas. D. Willie. Oh, man, 10th.
10th. So you got him in the 10th, man. So exactly word for word what you said earlier. You get your quarterback late, and it fills in your position players. Look at Brian Robinson. He ended with 13, with 19.
One of the best picks of the draft, dude. I want Brian Robinson so bad. I thought I had a deal done for him today. If Dallas, if you're watching this, no hard feelings, willing to pay above pay grade to get Brian Robinson. So if you're watching this, send him my way, brother.
Or send him my way. Anyways, he had 19 carries and 2 targets. I mean, that's 21 looks. Alexander Madison had 11 carries and 4 targets. Dude, Alexander Madison's that's probably his season low in looks.
And remember when I was explaining in our last pod why I liked Dallas's team, those guys are going to beat a 25 and 25 guy. I mean, Brian Robinson was almost there, and Alexander Madison just kind of lost face because they started throwing the ball a little bit more. But I'm telling you, those 2 running backs are going to get 20 plus looks every single week.
And Tampa's run defense, yes, they don't have Tom Brady, blah, 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 but that defense is still there. And that run defense is nasty. Absolutely nasty. But then, keep going down his team. CeeDee Lamb only had 4 targets in a game they won by 41. That game was over. The defense won it in the first quarter. That game, CeeDee Lamb got to 10.7 in a throwaway game for the offense. Sign me up for that every week. Devontae Adams, I talked about him in 9.6. That's only going to get better. Kyle Pitts actually had 5.4 as a tight end with huge upside. I mean, I'm zero a Kyle Pitts guy. I don't care for that guy at all. His hype is disgusting. But then in his flex, man, he has Mike Evans with 15.6. Mike Evans. I told Dallas before the year, I was like, man, I'm not a Mike Evans guy. I'm not a Godwin guy. I want nothing to do with Baker. And he told me, he's like, listen, he did it with fucking Gannon or whatever that guy's name. He's done it with all these nobodies. He's like, why can't he do it with Baker? I'm like, good point. And he looks all about it, all of it, man. He looks six catches on 10 targets, 66 yards and a touchdown. He's going to be just fine right there. But going to Spencer's team, man, he had the 28 from Tua, 12 from Ramondre, and then that's just kind of it. AJ Brown got him 11.5, and it's
kind of what I thought about Spank's team coming out of the draft. Just not a lot of firepower.
No, and that's the thing, man. In week 1, that's how everybody's team looked. There's just 1 or 2 guys, and Dallas has 7.
Right.
So it's just now looking at it. I mean,
again, that's why I'm really happy with my team. Everyone scored above almost 8 to 9 points. All my position players didn't get a good game from a few guys, but that's about it. Super pumped with that's what you need. And Dallas is there. There's only a few teams there, but Dallas is one of them. Spank, unfortunately, is looking at that 13 to 16 rank.
Yeah, he's not got 16 because it's Jimmy, and 15 is mine. Anyways, the next matchup here is Hunt versus Rich. Another one of those matchups, man. This week was brutal. Daniel Jones for Hunt had a half a point, 0.46. He had Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard looked great. I mean, in that game when they're up by so much, Pollard's going to get a lot of looks.
Hold on, time out. This is another fucking person that was way too fucking smart for their own goddamn good this year at the draft. Hunt, everything that's going to come to him this season, that motherfucker deserves. Because, dude, sorry, go ahead. Just finish out, and I'll talk after.
Okay, because I already know what you're gonna say, and I trust me, I was waiting for this, and so in my little pod, whatever you want to call it, the studying, I have some little tidbits for you because I knew this was coming, and I have a little couple things for you. Anyways, the biggest thing for Hunt, man, he lost J.K. Dobbins. He lost J.K. Dobbins for the year. It sucks, man. I like J.K. I would never draft him because of what his history's been. He's fun to watch, man. I remember him at Ohio State. It was nasty. He was so fun to watch. I hate seeing when a guy just keeps getting hurt and just can't stay healthy. So sucks for Hunt, sucks for Dobbins. Waddle looked fine. He just didn't have that touchdown or that really big thing, big play, because that was Tyreek Hill was doing everything. Drake London, 0. I know you're going to talk about that one. The Hawk for 7.5. Brandon Cooks, Kadarius Toney. He wanted Thomas, but we gave him the wrong guy. By the way, when Hunt, completely non-fantasy related. Feeding the Need is kind of, we get a little angry with each other at times. When Hunt got on that message board, and we gave him so much crap about draft when we tried drafting Kadarius Toney. He's like, I want Kadarius Thomas. We gave him so much crap. Old fashioned Feed the Need. He would have been like, oh, sorry, you're so mean. But what did Hunt do? He got on the message board and rolled with the joke instead of getting all pissy and getting their little panties in a bunch. He got on the message board and says, guys, who's this guy? I wanted Kadarius Thomas. So Hunt, props to you for that. I fucking loved it. It was great. But anyways, continue on. Rich's team Rich ended up getting the win with 70 points. Trevor Lawrence, 16.5. His number one overall pick, Chase, just got 6.5. Devontae Smith, dude, there's nothing really on this board that jumps out that like, makes you excited. Nothing at all. Neither team did anything crazy. It was just a bunch of shit. And Rich was just not as shitty. So
yeah, I like Rich's team most weeks, even though he only put up 70. I still like Rich's team. Jamar Chase is still like that with Joe Burrow. It can't happen like that. That was a windstorm / rainstorm. That was crazy.
Agreed. I'm not talking about the team. I'm just talking about the matchup. What happened?
Right.
I like Rich's team, but just this week, dude, what am I supposed to highlight? Devontae Smith for 14.
No, this week it's more. No, sorry, Moody. This week is more of a fuck hunt week because this is. You kind of touched on the J.K. Dobbins. If you've watched this pod, you know how much I hate Ravens running backs, and I thought that was the biggest piece of trash pick of the draft. I'm almost positive I said that in my last in the last pod. So J.K. Dobbins, like he is who we thought he was. At least with me, injury-prone running back who is not going to do absolutely anything, and he's going to get hurt week 1, and there's going to be 7 running backs there. I'm pretty sure 4 running backs or 5 running backs touched the ball in Baltimore this week. So have your fun with that. Have your fun. Okay, so that was his first mistake. Second mistake, Drake London drafting anybody in Atlanta other than the name fucking Bijan Robinson was goddamn stupid. It was dumb. It was dumb. It was dumb. I don't give a fuck about Tyler Algier. That's going to work itself out. Like Bijan Robinson is going to be the guy there, and Tyler Algier is not going to be the guy. If you have Tyler Algier and you're happy about it, fuck you. Okay? Oh, no, my light went out. Oh, well. And then kind of the last 2 things I want to touch up on Hunt's team. Kadarius Toney, I knew that was going to be a fucking clusterfuck. And then also Daniel Jones. Like, who goes into the draft and like out of the draft happy with Daniel Jones as their quarterback and expect anything other than what the fuck he showed us? I just watched my nephew's team, the Junior Bearcats. Would have fucking sacked Daniel Jones. Would have sacked him. I guarantee you. My nephew's a stud. He's fucking 5 foot, like not even. He's probably like 4'6", and he would have sacked Daniel Jones. Fuck Hunt. Good draft, Hunt. Oh. Go ahead.
I have 2 things. I listened to my favorite YouTuber, fantasy football guy is Kyle Yates. I listened to his podcast yesterday. I think it's yesterday or today. I don't know. Anyways, he did like a waiver wire pickup thing, right? Dude, this is why I want to really try to step into this market. It's because nobody talks about a 16-team playoff or 16-team fantasy football league. We will give you guys our waiver guys at the end of this show. But this is what's annoying. Dude, Trev, the number 1 running back that they said you pick up this week, you know who it was?
Who?
Roschon Johnson.
Yeah.
You know what round was he drafted in,
5th.
Trev? Can you tell me that?
5th.
5th?
I think so. Maybe let me double check. Who has him?
Hunt. 13, 12, 11.
Who has him?
He drafted him in the 9th round. Roschon Johnson was a 9th round pick. Another one they talked about after the Thursday night game. Oh, you gotta drop Kadarius Toney. You gotta get Rashee Rice. Excuse me? Kadarius Toney was an earlier round pick. He was a 7th round pick. Rashee Rice was a 10th round pick. Like, this is why all these freaking podcasts, they don't work. They don't work for 16 teamers. They just don't. Like, it is, but so giving props to Hunt here. He picked up Roschon Johnson. He drafted him. And another one, the number 2, Josh Kelly for the Chargers. He drafted him in the 12th round. He's on both of his teams. You want to know some quick stats here? Roschon Johnson had 5 carries for 20 yards and a touchdown. And I mean, obviously not a lot, but Khalil Herbert didn't do much. That offense didn't really do much. So a little bit of a bright spot. He had 6 catches for 35 yards. Josh Kelly, tell me this: did you have a running back on your team that got 16 carries? Mine
No.
didn't.
I mean,
No.
yeah, all three of mine did, but
Anyways, yeah, Josh Kelly, 16 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown. So props to Hunt. Yes, he took a little bit of a risk with Dobbins, but props to him. We talked about Jimmy. He always has that guy that he drafts late and it always hits. So Hunt, hats off to you. You might have two guys that are serviceable, and with Dobbins going down, you're going to need them. So props to you, and maybe you can start on both of them in your flex because Cooks and Tony, they suck. I have nowhere to talk, but they suck. Anyways, going on to our final one is Caleb versus Paddock. This was a decent matchup. I mean, it was still just shit versus shit, 83-79. It came down to Sunday night or Monday Night Football. And what won the game was the Garrett Wilson one-handed catch. The shittiest throw, man. I'm sorry. I could have made a better throw than that. You got to lead the guy. But Garrett Wilson, I know you fucking hate him. But great catch. But I agree. Caleb,
no, I don't hate Garrett Wilson.
No,
I hate the other fucking Wilson.
No, I agree. But Caleb put up 83 points with his quarterback playing 3 snaps. He had 4 snaps total, 3 plays and 1 snap to Achilles. So 4 total. But Caleb's team, he looked okay. He looked fine. His ETN, St. Brown looked fine. Garrett Wilson, his value just plummeted. I mean, he looked okay. Then on his bench, he even had Dubs was 15.5. Jordan Addison was 14. So Caleb does have a lot of pieces. So
right.
Not saying
I like Addison. I really do like Addison.
I like Addison. I like Zay Flowers. I like a lot of people on Caleb's team. It's just the fact he's going to have to plug and play those guys at the right times against matchups. And he just has a lot of them. And it's not like studs. Like this is Megatron. You start him every single week. These guys are going to be the guys you have to plug and play him. And he did just enough this week. A huge blow for him with Rodgers. He's got to go to the waiver now and find a quarterback. There's some serviceable guys on there, or he can package one of these guys in something.
Working out for me. Just one quick advice for Caleb. And I know I shouldn't, and he won't listen to me anyway. Go after Bryce Young. I'm sorry, Bryce Young. Get Bryce Young. Get the rookie that can run and get some touchdowns for you. And just do me a solid, Caleb. Don't do the stupid. I don't even know who else is out there.
You know where Bryce Young finished in quarterbacks this week?
Where?
27.
Fine. Mark my words. He'll figure it out.
Okay. But with that being said, it's kind of crazy how that matchup happened. It was a 4-point win for Caleb. And that's with T. Higgins having 0 for Paddock, man. That's a tough one. I mean, it's a 0 for T. Higgins, 0 for Rodgers. But man, it's just another week 1. They just shit, man. It's Caleb. Does he deserve a win at 83? Yeah, because he put up pretty much the league average. He outscored a lot of other people. But like, if you needed 83, you should lose. But week 1 of this year, hey, you got the win. So
it was a hard day of fantasy football to watch.
It was. Trust me. I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, Caleb's team, I like it. I like it, man. He has those three decently good running backs. They're all better than mine. I think it's just a lot of depth pieces that he can plug and play and or trade package to him or something. So I like Caleb's team. Let's just see how long he holds on to it, because we all know how it is. He paid $540 something for a reason.
Right.
So, good win for him. Tough for Josh, but hey,
yeah, Paddock, tough loss.
Tough. So, just to recap, kind of like the standings real quick after week 1, it is obviously Murrow with a point high, then goes to Garrett, the second most, Dallas the third, Blackburn with his 36 points from his defense, Dilla 5, Caleb's at 6, Unc Rich is at 7, and Jib came in with the win with the least amount of points. So, those are the top 8 right now.
Shouldn't you say the top 12?
Top 12? You want top 12? Okay. Top 12, 9 is you with the most points scored in a loss. Goes down to Daly, then Spencer, then Paddock. The last 4 is Jimmy, Mr. Team IR, Jordan Dobbins Hunt, Mike, and then yours truly. So, just there it is. I made a trade already this week. Thank you, Dilla, for kind of helping a guy out here. I needed it. But we'll go into now, we're going to try to transform, this year, we're trying to get more of, we're obviously going to talk about feed the need. This is the core of it, but we're trying to expand a little bit because we can entertain the 16 people in the league. But if you're not in the league, we want to kind of help you out if you are looking for advice. So we're going to go into a little bit of waiver wire pickups for this week, and we can kind of show you guys too, if you don't play 16 teams, kind of how bare it is. Real quick, Trevor, do you are you looking for any upgrades, anything? You kind of just sitting on your team, you had a decent week. What are you thinking for your team?
I'm really, other than maybe looking for another back to replace the handcuff of Zamir White, I really don't have all that I'm looking for in free agency this week. So I'm not really looking, but what are you looking for? Yeah, I could ask you the same thing, and I guarantee you have a different answer.
Agreed. Yeah. So for me, I said, man, I had the worst week I've had in a very, 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 very long time in Feed the Need. Jimmy has all these injuries and he still outscored me. Caleb had lost a quarterback. I had a full team. My core guys. Yes, JT's out till week 5. It doesn't matter. My team still put up 50 points. So I kind of threw week 1 away. It's preseason, whatever. You can kind of do that, whatever. Yes, there's a lot of guys. I'm just, the panic meter's right there getting ready to get pushed. But for me, I needed to do something. And Taylor Majors asked if I wanted Mooney. I'm like, yeah, but I have nothing to give you. I can't trade anybody because my team right now, I drafted Swift in the 3rd. Was that stupid? Yeah. But now after the week 1, what am I supposed to do? His values just went from, because my value for him was here when the real value was here. After week 1, now it's down to here. What am I supposed to do with the guy? All right, we're back here. We got a little bit of a timeout. Signs back up, by the way. Buck Spencer. Anyways, I play him this week. We're gonna jump into the just waiver wire ads that we've just kind of highlight the main couple people. But anyways, to finish up what Majors and I did, I got Darnell Mooney for 45 fab. That's all we did. 45 fab, Darnell Mooney. I happy as hell with it. Huge pickup. But anyways, jump into the available guys on the waiver. We're gonna go to the flex options here. The number one guy that I believe that is going to be paid, because mind you, we got fab, you got to pay for it. Number one guy I believe is going to be the Puka Nacua. Dude, I'm so mad about myself for this. I dropped him Thursday for Noah Gray. I could have had it easy in my waiver, in my flex spot for nothing, for free. I drafted him. I like the guy.
So Puka Nacua. Let me compare him to a player that you're not going to like. I think you should avoid Puka Nacua. He reminds me a lot do you know when Amon-Ra St. Brown went out for a few weeks, a few years, last year, maybe, whatever it was. And that Khalif Raymond guy had 16 targets in that one game. He blew up for 110 yards, had those 20 targets, whatever it was. And then he didn't do another thing. Didn't do another thing. So I'm getting a huge Khalif Raymond vibes. Couldn't tell you why. I don't even think they're the same size, same outfit of player. The ones, but it's Stafford. Stafford's kind of the same. So I don't know. Well,
I'm right there with you.
Nakua's not my first ad.
I'm right there with you. I'm just kind of going off of like what I'm feeling that the league's going to do. I'm right there with you. I'm not a Puka Nacua guy. Yes, in my lineup right now, it is very weak. I could use him tremendously, but am I going to pay the? I think he's a 3 week guy. Or Cup's coming back week 5. I mean, yes, it could be a little bit longer. And is he going to be 100% healthy? There's questions. Yes, I get that. But at the end of the day, when Cup comes back, that is Cup's ball. Cup's going to be the one getting those 18 targets. Polka's going to go back down to the 5 or 6. Do you want to spend your 100 fab on him? Not me. Not me.
Right.
But that's the number one guy. I do agree with you. I mean, look at Allen Robinson literally last year. What did he do when Cup was there?
Right.
He was out there running what's that guy's name? Basketball player Snell. Benny Snell? No, that doesn't sound right.
Benny
But
Snell.
he had like 28 minutes played and 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists.
Benny Snell was a running back.
I know, but there's that Snell that I can't think.
Ian Snell?
Basketball player.
Whatever it is.
Anyways, he has that Snell's stat line. He doesn't do anything. He's out there running routes for fun. I'm not a big Puka Nacua guy. My number one overall pick that I would want to pick up, there's nobody that really jumps out. Like the next guy is Allen Robinson, maybe.
You want to know who I did? So one of mine who I would go after if I was in need of the wide receiver position would be Rashid. Shaheed.
Shaheed.
Yeah, Rashid Shaheed. I watched a few videos preseason, a few sleeper videos, and he did exactly what they thought he would do, a little sleeper wide receiver in New Orleans. And he did exactly that. And so watch Rashid. I'm telling you, that's who I would be going after. I would be getting off this Nacua train because you're right. It is only a 2 or 3 week fix, even if he does continue to do that. This Rashid train, on the other hand, Rashid Shaheed, he's all season. He's there too. He's all season. He if he's a 15, even a 10 to 15 point guy all season long, I'd rather take that than a 10 to 15 guy for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
No, I fully agree. I have my two that I agree with you. Because like you said, I want to get guys that's not going to be just a 1 week filler, especially if you are spending a lot of fab. My two is in no particular order. I like the Shaheed, but I like to look at guys like Kendrick Bourne. I'm not saying, remind you, we're not trying to give you the next freaking Mike Evans, the next anybody, the next Jettas. These are guys you can just serviceable flex options in certain matchups, or you're going to get some sort of volume. Kendrick Bourne in that offense, like I said, Mac Jones played against.
Someone's got to catch the ball.
So they went against Philly. Philly has a damn good defense. He had 11 targets. He caught 6 of them for 64 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's going to do that every week? No. But the 11 targets is what you're trying to get at. So I like Kendrick Bourne. He's not, like I said, he's not going to be anything crazy value, but like he's going to be that consistent. He's the number 2 there. They lost Jacoby Myers. Yes, Devontae Parker was out. So, I mean, it kind of takes a little bit of a hit when he does come back. The sign's done. The next one for me is Josh Reynolds, another option with Goff. And to be honest with you, before I got Mooney, this was the guy I was targeting. This is the guy I wanted because he had 7 targets. He only got 4 of them for 80 yards. He's the number 2 there to Amon-Ra. Jared Goff, they're going to be throwing the ball, man. Jahmyr Gibbs, yes, he will get more and more looks. But Josh Reynolds was the guy there. He plays against the Hawks this week. And I don't know if you just saw the numbers that the Rams receivers just put up. But Josh Reynolds, that's the guy I would do. I mean, especially last week 1. That's the guy I'm targeting. That's the guy I want. Josh Reynolds is the next guy that I'm looking at right there. Number 1, he's my number 1 receiver pickup.
All right. How about you have any running back suggestions, or is that about it?
Running backs, there's a couple options on here. And remind you guys, the running back market, I'm going to read you the top scoring available from last week. Okay. Justice Hill is the number 1 behind J.K. Dobbins. His stat line, remind you, is god awful. He had
he had a touchdown though, right?
yes, but where the hell is okay? He had 8 rushing attempts for 9 yards.
Right, and that's
Easy
Welcome to
math here. We're
Baltimore.
talking 1 yard a carry. That is Deion Jackson numbers. Okay.
Welcome to Baltimore. It's been like that for 4 years.
Yeah, but only in saved his fantasy day was he had the 2 touchdowns.
Right.
Do you think Lamar Jackson's not going to steal those? So Justice Hill, like maybe as a fucking I need something for like Jimmy with all those injuries. I need somebody to start as my RB2. Maybe an option. Alec Ingold is the next guy. Mike Boone, Michael Carter, the fourth guy or the third guy there behind Dalvin and Brees. Jake Funk, which Jake Funk now he could be taking over Deion Jackson's role, but Moss is coming back and he's only a couple week fix.
No, these guys aren't serviceable.
I mean, these guys, man, it's just garbage.
And that's to show you how hard this league is. Because if you do not go in to the draft with an idea in mind, this is the kind of picks that you're going to be having to choose from week 1 or week 2 into the season when your team is an injury happens to a running back or something like that and you don't have the depth. It goes so fast. And so this is exactly why we do this podcast, because how many people do 16-team leagues? A ton of people. And how many people are talking about Alec Ingold on their podcast? Nobody. And so that's exactly why we do it. These guys aren't good options, but at the same time, they might be your best options in other leagues.
Yeah. If I had to give one name to kind of look at, and dude, it's disgusting to even say it, is Melvin Gordon. He was on the practice squad with the Ravens, and it's like I don't trust Gus Edwards. He's like 31 years old, I believe, and he hasn't done anything. He's not going to do much. The 1 yard per carry Justice Hill, he's not going to do much. Melvin Gordon, maybe. Other than that, man, I'm staying away from every single one of these free agent running backs. Everyone. Right. I mean, maybe the guy that Jimmy dropped for the Saints, I mean, maybe you can bid money on him, but he's not going to be in waivers anywhere else. But anyways, we'll go to quarterbacks, a little bit more fun. You look at these numbers, and Mac Jones is in the waivers. He was QB2 on the week, which is cool. Matt Stafford is there. He's intriguing, huge intrigue against the Hawks. Do you trust him? I mean, sorry, he played against the Hawks and he put up good numbers, but do you trust him going forward with those receivers? Not me. Baker Mayfield is Baker Mayfield. He looked okay. Brock Purdy looked good in the first half, but that team they're awful. Sam Howell, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jared Goff is the next one.
I like Jimmy G.
I like Jimmy.
I think if I were to target someone, it would be either the choice that I had at the beginning of the season to gamble on a rookie, and hopefully he runs more and scores some rushing touchdowns, and it would be Bryce Young. Or it would be someone who I know has the best receiver in football on the other side of his arm, which would be Jimmy G and Devontae Adams. So, that's who I would be, like, if I had to get a QB.
Yeah. For me, this coming up week for week 2, you got to look at a lot of matchups as well. And Jared Goff's that guy against the Hawks. Matt Stafford did what he did against them. Jared Goff can do the same. He has more weapons than Stafford does. So Jared Goff is my one pickup this week.
And you got to think the Lions are wanting the Seahawks heads, because we are the people who kept them out of the playoffs. The only reason that Green Bay game at the end of the year wasn't for a playoff spot is because we beat them 2 weeks prior.
Yeah, agreed. Sneaky one here, maybe Tannehill against the Chargers. Tua just carved them.
Like Tannehill.
Maybe keep an eye on Tannehill.
Throwing the ball around. He threw 13 times to DeAndre Hopkins. That relationship's only going to get better, and Treylon Burks is going to get better. I like that offense. Yeah.
Okay, so going into tight ends now. This again, man, this is where we go into those. It's a desert out there. Taysom Hill is just, I hate Taysom Hill. He's disgusting. And I wish he would never play football again. I hate how he's just on here. But like going off of like you can go to Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry had a good game against the Eagles. He had 14 points. He had 5 catches for 1 touchdown for 56 yards. Hayden Hurst is a sneaky one. He looked good with the rookie quarterback there. He had 7 targets, 5 catches for 41 yards and a touchdown. Donald Parham. Dude, the tight end position, it's just such a fucking crapshoot, man. It's one
Right.
week,
And
it's
yeah,
these waiver guys, man.
waiver guys. I mean, in our league, a 16-man league with 4 bench spots, tight ends are obviously going, and we all have to start a tight end, and tight end is a low position anyway. There's always going to be less than usual. And even less than usual, because normally I would be like, this is who we want to target, Luke Musgrave, like, because that guy's going to be out there in 85 to 90% of leagues, but he's not in ours, so it really, really tough.
It is. And that's what's nice about doing this podcast is we can kind of just show people, man, this isn't nothing easy here. I mean, you look at the top. Literally, I have a list of the top 5 or the top wide receiver picks for the podcast I listen to. Josh Downs, Tank Dell, Zay Jones, Tutu Atwell, Rashid Shaheed, Jacoby Myers was on this list. Romeo Dubs was on this list. Dude, all these names, like, they all got drafted besides like 2 of them. So it's just like when you do a 16-team league, it's just different, man. It's just a different ball game. It's kind of nice to be able to talk about it, to kind of, if there's some people out there like us that are kind of just like, what am I doing here? Maybe
Right.
we can kind of help people out. And if we are helping somebody, let us know. It'd be kind of cool to know.
Hell yeah. And we'll make sure to turn the comments on our YouTube videos if someone wants to comment.
Still learning. My bad. I fucked that up. But it's on. I switched it. It should be on.
Okay.
But with that being said, man, we're off to week 2. You got anything to say going into finishing up week 1, head to week 2?
No, all I've essentially just to outline what we got planned here a little bit. Hopefully in the next day or 2, I can come out with my kind of first official power rankings for the league. That will be its own kind of separate podcast. I may throw some other sneak beats in there that we've been working on, but I'm not gonna spoil any of those tidbits or anything like that. So just keep on the lookout for the Power Rankings podcast in the next day or 2.
Yeah. With that being said, we're going to try to do this, record Monday nights, because Trevor doesn't work Mondays. Try to record Monday nights and post it Tuesday. I don't know when, just depending on everything goes. Post it Tuesday, then we're going to try to get to record again later in the week, maybe Saturday mornings. Edit it, get it posted, so that so the Tuesday ones will be like recap, like this exact episode. Saturdays we're going to try to do the power rankings and pick'ems. Bring back the pigskin pick'ems, and so we also have, like Trevor said, a couple other at least one other segment that I know should be fun, and I can't wait for the first submission. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, good win to those 8. I'm happy I'm one of them. Thank you, Blackburn, for the charity. Kidding. But anyways, on to week 2. Good luck to everybody besides Spencer. See you guys.
Deuces.
Feed the